Well, I've finished painting this chap. Yeah, it doesn't take that long, really. Maybe 5 hours. Well, that's probably too long for some people. It's a bit dark, isn't it? Let me see if I can improve the light from the side. Try. It's too dark. Hang on. I'm in the wrong place. My lamp needs tightening up at its hinges. Well, sort of. I'll bring him a bit closer. Probably is best, isn't it? Oh yeah, that'll do, I suppose. Can we see his face? I basically made him look like blood spattered. Because he's going to be amongst some emerging from a lot of wounded, making a final desperate sort of charge. So I've got blood coming out of his orifice from, well, he's a survivor of canister. One of the lucky few didn't get hit by anything. I suppose the shock wave has had its effect. I need to do some with sort of their raggedy rags, worn clothing being kind of torn away to some extent by shockwave or scouring effect of whipped up dust, mud, grit, stones, big stones, ripping up tree trunks, branches, I suppose, saplings, I don't know. So I've just generally kind of made him look a bit blood spattered, and the mist, pink mist that would be created as well from his comrades, probably. More on the front than the sides and the back, I suppose. And we've got a bit of a bloody stump there, of course. Phil might approve of that. It doesn't look like us. It looks like something else, actually, at the moment. I'm not going to say what it... Oh dear, that fell down. I'm not going to say what that is. I think the black screen's better, actually. Yes, it is better for lighting. The camera sort of lights up the figure. The black screen. Has he got a face? Well, he has. He's definitely got one eye. The other eye is kind of like covered in sort of blood, I think. That thing is sticking into my finger. That offensive looking bit of metal, which will be turned into a sharp tree stump. But I thought I'd make it look like it was been bent over a bit when they pulled over the saplings to make some kind of a battis or small trees. And they bend them over, I suppose, after they've cut a little bit of it, and then it would form a sharp spike. Well, it needs working on, so it doesn't look like something else. And I think that's the thinnest steel washer I've ever seen. It's got a hole in it underneath. Yes, which is great because it's magnetic, of course. Sorry about that. And there's not much to see really. You can see where I've ages hollowing out the various places with various tools, separating that musket butt from his body, and then doing up his arse. Well, he didn't have an arse, he just had sort of, well, it was all infill, really, including the coat tails. So, yeah, he's a bit shiny, but that's kind of pink mist vapour and blood spray spatter. Yes, so, well, he's got to go in pride of place, I suppose, next to some Confederate bloke charging with a flag. Yes. Oh yes, he's got a blood on the sole of his foot because of treading through gore, I suppose. Can we get any closer and focused? Probably. That's just that red blood of the blood god stuff that Citadel do, which is great. It does look like blood and whatnot. You can thin it down a bit to make it staining. He's pretty focused. Right. What else am I doing? Just because I've been doing, well, it's nice to do other things as well, but I should focus on just one figure at a time. If I can see. Sorry. And that's a 3D chick, which just was a bit small. 1/43rd, I think. Oh, stay down. She needs some 3D printed. Yes, I did say, I'm sure I did. Oh God, I'm nearly finished doing Matthew Brady, Fettling. I'm just trying to get a perfect shine on the back of his waistcoat so that I can just apply a blue gloss varnish to make it look like he's got a silk back on his waistcoat. She needs some work on the left side of her face, the corner. There's too much of a ridge corner there. Yeah, you can just see it. It's kind of disfiguring her. So that's some work to be done, but it's not as much as, nowhere near as much work as, say, a moulded figure, traditionally moulded figure. There. Oh, there she is. She looks better from this side. I just need to find a suitable washer to put her on that supports those incredibly thin, flimsy legs, which have got like high heels, but one of them snapped off. Oh yes. And I'm not going to show you her arse because it's not been finished yet. Yes, so you get plenty of depth and detail with, well, you get all the detail with 3D printed, I suppose. Maybe too much detail. Yes. Well, you've seen all this background stuff. I got to get on with doing a lot more casualties for that diorama. I've got plenty of figures to do. I must have at least 100 various wounded or dead figures to do. So yes. Oh, that's just that pre-painted Perry Miniatures Union gun, which I just need to make them a bit more realistic looking. I'm not going to do any fettling to them. Well, I might do a little bit. The bloke that's... because they haven't really had any fettling done to them. The bloke pulling the lanyard, that needs... I just need to cut all that away and add a separate lanyard. Some usual slender stuff. Cat's whiskers, I suppose. But you need a white one. Nah, you're better off with very thin styrene section. Really thin stuff. 0.2 of a millimetre to look like string that's been in tension, then suddenly released with sudden jerk. Yeah, so I kind of nearly done the barrel. I'm just trying to get it perfectly some mirror finish so I can make it look like brass. Good old yellow brass, yellow gloss varnish. Right, that'll do. Get on with some casualties. Oh, that's my finger. Casualties. Yes, that's what I need to do. Concentrate on. Getting distracted all the time. Right. I'll do some more stills of that Franklin work in progress diorama. Eastern sector part. John Adams bit.